wind in the forecast for tomorrow, so it might be a little bit more difficult to shoot as hot of rounds as we were seeing in Saturday's round. But as everyone really dials in the course and the landing zones, that we potentially could see many people shooting double digits.
Even though we haven't seen Anniken Steen much in the United States, she has been touring the last couple years more lately. It doesn't mean she's not an accomplished disc golfer. She's a 3-time Norwegian champion.
Owen had to really dial in her flex shots last week on those tightly wooded fairways of Sprinkle Valley, and now coming out to a more wide open course like this with a lot more defined landing zones, I think that Owen's game could really shine. Kind of trend that we've seen in Kristin's game this year is she has kind of had a slower start, and then she does some big moves on moving day, and then Sunday she just almost makes it look easy. She just cruises into a win.
Sarah Hokom, we like to call her the queen of clean. She did have one blemish on the scorecard yesterday, but otherwise just really calmly stacked up birdies, took her pars when she needed to, is an absolute veteran and very calm and composed out there. We've seen back-to-back course records, 4 strokes better than last year, and it's entirely possible that we'll see another one tomorrow. And it could be by anyone in the field, not just lead card.
Hello and welcome to the final round of the Texas State Disc Golf Championships presented by Lone Star Discs. This is our final stop in Texas at Brock Park Diamond Layout. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb, and we're the two hotkeys.
Honk.
And we have a pretty exciting looking day just based on the scores. It's tight at the top. There's a ton of birdies out there. I'm legitimately excited to watch this one.
Yeah, we did have nice calm conditions again today as well. Not as windy as the forecast projected. First up, we have Anniken Steen, 100% fairway hits. She's the first player of the year, MPO or FPO, to go 100% Circle 2 in regulation as well.
Whoa.
And 80% Circle 1X putting.
Own Scoggins, we know her, we love her. 94% fairway hits, so close to 100. 72% in Circle 2 and 100% C1X putting. That's amazing.
Yeah, 11 out of 11 in yesterday's round.
Whoa.
Kristin Tattar, 100% Circle 1X putting as well. That keeps anyone in the top. 78% fairway hits, and 78% of the time she's getting to at least Circle 2 for a birdie look.
And coming off that course record 12 down yesterday. Sarah Hokom, queen of clean herself, 83% fairway hits, landing in Circle 2, 78% of the time, 71% C1X putting. She's 7 strokes back of the leader.
But I bet she's leading the field and not going out of bounds.
I bet.
Yeah. She never does. Hole 1, 625. It's a par 4 to start out. A very tricky one. I think this out of bounds on the left-hand side keeps you from attacking the fairway as much as you would like to make this second shot nice and easy to get a birdie. If most players are going to be landing kind of over to the left in that funny landing, or accidentally turning their disc over to the right, pinching off and having to throw their second shot through that line of trees, you'll see a lot of pars on this one. Birdie feels great.
Happy Easter to you all. Welcome to the 2024 Texas State Disc Golf Championship presented by Lone Star Discs. This is your FPO lead card. Starting us off, representing Seeger Bags, we are Disc Golf Shop and PCS Construction, Anniken Steen.
Anniken shooting her highest rated round of her career in day 1 and day 2, which is crazy. Back-to-back 10 downs, really consistent, and looking like she's played on a million lead cards in her life.
I was literally going to say all of that exactly in that order.
Next on the box, representing Innova Champion Disc, Own Scoggins.
Owen actually has played on a million lead cards in her life. So that's why she looks so calm. There's only been a handful of birdies on hole 1 the last 2 rounds each day. Let's see if our lead card can find the landing zones here.
Owen keeps it nice and safe with that forehand.
Next on the box, representing Latitude 64, Kristin. Kristin, Tattar.
Kristin, what did she end up doing? 7 in a row at one point? Or was
Yeah.
it?
No,
Yeah.
6. Oh, yeah,
It was
7.
yeah,
it was
it was
7.
more than 6. Yep. Pretty unreal. That was on more in the back 9. And that's a nice smooth shot.
And rounding us off, representing MVP disc and Zuka carts, Sarah Hokom.
Not as much wind today. It was really muggy. Well, okay.
No, it
there's
was.
not there's not as much wind in the start. It picks up later as it has every single day. I would say it was worse than yesterday, but comparable to the first day.
And 100% humidity easily.
Oh my gosh.
So muggy.
So sticky. Look, I'm going to find this little ditch the same as Anniken did.
Give these ladies a round of applause. Let's go.
It's not bad over there, just can be a little bit awkward.
It sets up great for a forehand player.
Or a
Or-
left-handed player. Gotta risk the OB. Anniken doesn't want any part of it. Ooh.
She's going to have a tricky little par save from that corner. We'll see what she has to work with.
Kristin 3 strokes back of Anniken and Own. Probably looking to attack here. Oh, wow.
Perfect. Just hits the gap right down the middle. Own, high risk.
Yeah, she's got to carry the OB a little bit to get all the way to the pin. And she does it.
Yep, high reward as well.
Hokom working the turnover line here. Wow, hole one's easy. These 3 ladies showing why having a forehand is important out here, or at least an advantage.
Anniken not as much in the stuff as I thought, or maybe they get relief from that fence.
Yeah, that fence is OB.
Okay. Oh, it's barbed wire. Okay, yep. So 2 meters relief for Anniken. That's very fortunate. Very easy par.
Hokom coming up short on her birdie bid there. Let's see if Own can do it. To take solo lead immediately.
Yep, there she goes.
There she goes. Kristin with basically a tap in here.
Own and Kristin with 2 of only 6 birdies today. The most we've seen in a single day on hole 1, just by 1.
I wonder how many lead changes we'll see today.
Yep, 1 in the books as Own takes that stroke on Anniken.
Hole 2, short par 3, 264 feet. You're teeing from out of bounds, but you're not really thinking about that. Most ladies going to take this right side with a right hand backhand that fades at the end. It is a tricky line for the lefty or the sidearm on the left side of this tree that the drone is flying. The gap is much smaller. The ceiling is lower. This is one that you just got to get in the circle.
And that is easier said than done. Only 30% of the field managing to get a birdie on this one. It's crazy. 90% of the field got at least a circle 2, though.
Yeah.
Own with some really intense ground action. Big Annie skip instead of getting that hyzer flare she was hoping for. Coming in a little early. Kristin opts for the lower ceiling forehand route.
Tricky. She gets caught up.
Anniken pulling out a really nice looking sidearm. It does come in early as well, but manages to make it through the little last line of guardian trees inside the circle.
She didn't throw too many sidearms yesterday, but she definitely has it. A really smooth, pretty powerful sidearm.
Oh, Hokom's so close to hitting that gap, but she gets tangled up in the same branches that Kristin does and knocks down in about the same area in circle 2.
Kristin, long look here. It's going to be a par.
Kind of surprised to see her go forehand there.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem like the ideal route. But
Yeah. I don't know if everyone gets this, but I get this thing I call like forehand syndrome, where if you throw a lot of them, all of a sudden your backhand is like, do I trust it anymore?
Yeah.
Forehand, I can look at my target the whole time. Why would I turn my back?
I think most people get backhand syndrome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Sarah not able to run at this one, pretty blocked by those big pine trees.
Anniken about 22 feet maybe, bans it.
Dead center. Not super nervy.
Yeah,
She's got to be feeling it a little bit,
yeah,
right?
a little bit.
Gotta.
Definitely a little bit. Owen's not.
No. Nice little tester for par.
If you're at home, I recommend that you just start spraying yourself with a water bottle so you can understand how everyone on the cart is feeling. Just like a little spritzer every couple of seconds.
Yeah, this camera angle really doesn't do it justice.
Ouch.
Yeah. Owen's going to hold on to the one-stroke lead right now. Lucky Lorenzen 4 down right now through 6 holes, screaming her way up the leaderboard. Hole 3, another birdieable hole like they all are, but this one's 315 feet, much longer than the other par 3 we just played, and a lot more out of bounds all the way up and down the left and right side, wrapping behind the basket right around the edge of circle 1. This one looks really simple on camera, but when you get out there and look at the tee pad, the way the trees are dispersed really makes the angle tricky. You can't throw a hyzer or a simplified flex shot necessary. You kind of want to either flip something up or throw a really sharp flex shot like we just see Owen doing.
I feel like the story of Brock Park is tough to get in the circle.
Yeah.
Even though it looks easy.
Circle 2, though. Get it by everyone.
Lots of circle 2s. Probably more than any other tournament.
Kristin accidentally turns that one over. Doesn't quite have the time to fight back.
Anniken's going mid-range here. I like this play.
Yeah, there is a really big gap on the left side for the lefty backhand, but it's risky because you have to throw out of bounds. So I
It's
like
a sharp angle.
Yeah, I like Anniken playing a little bit safer here.
And still gets the circle 2 look that most people get here. Here's the wide route Mad was talking about. Hokom sneaks through a branch and is in circle 2. That's tough. You really have to hang it out there over OB.
Kristin with yet another circle 2 look.
I think she's outside. Looked like an 80-footer.
Yeah, that was far.
I mean, she makes them look like 40-footers, but... Oh, yeah, just on the edge of circle 2 here.
So many circle 2 looks on this course.
Aired out just a bit too much to the left. Jumper for Hokom as well, and she squeaks it in. Oh, man. Dealing with that ankle injury, it looks like. Gives it just enough loft to get there.
Boop. Perfect. Off the top of the cage. I didn't realize she had an ankle injury.
She was favoring it a little bit yesterday, but I don't think she ran, so it was less obvious. I don't know how long she's been dealing with it, but she was wearing that same brace yesterday. Oh, yeah.
Anniken hits a stepper to start her round out.
And goes right into that sprinting motion immediately.
We love this.
Yeah, like she like gets back and then darts forward.
Boom, boom, off the blocks.
Yeah, off the block. That'll get your round going.
A quarter of the field got this one, but only half of our lead card able to convert for birdie.
And another tie at the top now with Anniken's birdie there. That was a gold line compass off the tee. Hole 4 is a par 4 of 588 feet. OB on the left, that can definitely come into play. You're not really thinking about the OB right. You want to throw something past this tree on the right that we just passed here, and that's a good distance to set up for your second shot. The closer you are to the OB, it can be kind of nice for the second shot. There is out of bounds that also then wraps kind of all the way around the basket into circle 2. It is kind of tough to go all the way deep on this one though. I'm trying to remember the wind. I guess we'll see.
It looks nice and calm right now.
It does. It's breezier than it looks, though. Anniken able to just throw a hyzer at the OB and fade away from it, which is really nice. The right-handed backhand player is kind of pushing that tree line right and trying to keep it in bounds. Smooth Fission Photon from Hokom.
That's going to set up great for her second shot.
We saw Own on day one throw this sidearm too far to the right, but then save a miraculous birdie. This looks like she gives it much more room on the left to work. Great shot.
She gave it a lot more height than we've seen in days prior.
Really cool to see all four hands and lefty backhand. The majority of the field is going right-hand backhand on this one. Kristin up first. Probably nearly 300 feet to go. Leaves it in circle 2. She's probably hoping for a bit more of a flare skip.
Really cool this week. This course highlights all FPO skill levels, not necessarily just the top 5 or 10. It's cool to see on the lead card the final day 2 players that are outside the top 10, Anniken and Sarah Hokom, competing for the win.
Hokom going out and around that final tree with a really technical forehand. She's inside the circle. On working kind of the typical backhand play, and she does it perfectly. Ooh, another sidearm from Anniken.
That's so good.
Beautiful.
Lands nice and soft. Doesn't have to worry about any ground play.
Kristin, the only one not in the circle.
Another long look for birdie.
Classic Brock Park. Classic Kristin.
Bringing her to 2 down on the round, inching her way closer to the top.
I keep thinking about how she ran that putt in yesterday on 17.
Yeah.
Because she really just does this walk in normally.
Every time, yeah.
This can be kind of a nervy distance. She nails it.
Yeah, just nerves of steel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like that first big putt has really got her round going now. Hokom 2 in a row.
Potential star frame? Yeah. $25 to edge. We love to see it.
I feel like that is an easier hole, but still not a gimme.
Yep, the second easiest hole of the day.
So a gimme. Emily Weatherman 5 down, it looks like, moving up the leaderboard.
Hole 5, 198 feet. Shortest hole on the course, but doesn't necessarily mean it's the easiest because look at this little teeny gap. They did clear it out a lot from years prior, so there's a lot more options and a lot more chances to get through if you do shank your shot a little bit. The main issues here, I think, would be accidentally throwing one too deep. We see a lot of left-handed players or left finishing shots going, or sorry, right-handed hyzers or left finishing shots going this roundabout way that Anniken chooses to throw a sidearm, and that is perfect.
She meant to go around the trees, though. She got pretty lucky going through them. Is that the play? Just chuck it? I try to go for the gap every day, and then I hit a tree, so I now have regrets.
I mean, there's no way that is the play, but let's see what Owen does.
I bet. Just chucks it.
And it's perfect.
Oh, man.
Oh, that does go deep. But it gets through.
Yep.
So it's sometimes hard to watch in the booth.
Reliving so many memories.
Kristin throws a really pretty straight shot through the gap.
That was her harp.
She's like...
The only one who actually hits the gap.
Yeah, she's like, look, I did what you're supposed to do, and it's the exact same as everyone else.
You weirdos.
Yeah.
Own from nearly 40. Catches a couple right side, chains up high, doesn't stick.
This was also in the top 3 easiest holes of the day. And I think that's largely due in part to how much they cleaned it out. Neither Sarah nor Owen able to capitalize on this very birdieable hole 5.
And Anniken takes the solo lead with that birdie. She's looking pleased as punch.
She's making them when she has to.
Yeah.
It's so cool to see her hit these ones that could potentially turn into nervy putts.
Mm-hmm. And Kristin maintaining that 3-stroke differential. Not quite able to reel in the leaders much.
Moving into a trio of challenging little par 4s, but all 3 birdieable. Look at, is it Emily Weatherman?
Yeah.
Yeah, a Texas local screaming up the leaderboard with her own little hot round going.
Hole 6, par 4, 597. OB on both sides. You basically just want to land a little bit past these first trees that we're about to pass right here. Left or right is okay. It's kind of set up more to land on the left, but you see both. Second shot can be tricky with the various fairway trees. You usually have to shape kind of a specific shot. Low-hanging branches, like pretty much all of these holes, makes you keep it low and linear. There is OB that wraps around the basket into circle 2.
Anniken working up the left side, and that is a great play on this hole.
Yeah, perfect. Just past those trees. Great. Kristin working the right side, probably looking to get a little bit of a skip and fade past these trees. And she does. We saw Hokom throw this mostly OB yesterday and barely skip in at the end. It looks like she makes the correction.
Might be a little more center cut than she wants. We'll see what she
Yeah.
has to work with. I know,
It
yeah,
can
usually
suck
behind those. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Not always, but it can be. Own going backhand flex.
That's so good.
Yeah, it is.
Just flirting with OB.
But perfect.
Oh, how does she know?
How? Teach us. Hokom pretty close to this OB.
Wow, they pulled this in a lot this year.
It's one of the few that they pulled in, and it's not staked, so it always surprises me how close it is. Dang.
Yeah, Sarah's going to have to settle for a long look for birdie. Outside circle, too.
Own lining up the out and around forehand shot. Going to carry OB, it looks like. Oh, no, she's not. Just going to go under the trees.
How does she throw that shot that it looks like the nose is down at first, but then it just lifts and stays up? It's really unbelievable.
Magic.
It is magic.
She does come up short, though. Needed a bit more height.
Kristin trying to navigate these fairway trees and catches the last one as she's coming into the green.
Yeah, this second shot is always pretty tough. Door is open for Anniken here going forehand again. This is the most forehands that we've seen from her so far. She overturns it, though. Hopefully it cut rolls or... Oh, yeah, it digs.
Mm-hmm. Checks up probably a couple feet from that out of bounds line.
Mm-hmm.
And our lead card really showing us all sides of this fairway. We've got people all the way from OB line to OB line, all the way across.
No one out, though.
Mm-mm.
Hokom with a little layup there for par.
Anniken gonna do the same. No need to mess around when you've just gotten a turkey.
I mean, I don't mind a little bit of messing around. Own, always down to mess around. It's cage.
A round of pars on hole 6 from our lead card. There were only 7 birdies on the day today.
I feel like tense for them. Like the scores are so close. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's very
And
birdie or die vibes.
You gotta get the birdies.
Mm-hmm.
And when you don't, it's just like so hard not to get down on yourself.
Yeah, if you start to cool off a little bit and just play par golf, it's crazy how quickly you slide down the leaderboard.
Mm-hmm.
Anniken holding on to that 1-stroke lead over Own right now. Emily Weatherman. Moving on to the second par 4, very similar to hole 6 at 573, though just a little bit shorter, and I would say a little bit easier to birdie. The landing zone's a little bit more forgiving as long as you miss that first grouping of trees on the left-hand side, and from there it's just a low ceiling straight shot that hopefully gets maybe a tiny bit of ground play coming in low.
Anniken up first. This is a nice line for a left-handed player as well. Just throw right at that tree and then fade. Yeah, that'll be solid.
I like how Anniken's form, she doesn't kind of follow all the way through. It's very line specific.
I'll have to watch that more. Kristin with a super smooth backhand.
Yeah, Anniken's probably only throwing 300 feet. She's not going huge distance shots here. She's
Yeah. Well, and you don't need to.
Nope.
Just
Just
the placement.
chopping it down.
Hokom with a solid shot. Maybe that tree's in the way, though, on the second. Going backhand. Nice and flexy.
Lots of room to work here.
Beautiful.
About twice as many birdies on hole 7 than on hole 6 from our field.
Yeah. Yeah, that checks out. I feel like hole 6 is like kind of a bonus and also a practice for hole 7.
Mm-hmm. A warm-up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I feel like she is inches from getting these birdies and just clipping stuff. And probably only, what, 250?
Yep, that seems right. Keeping it nice and low, coming in kind of hot, but it's fine.
It's great. This, again, is one of those greens that it kind of just sticks when you land. You don't get a ton of action on the ground. Puts the pressure on Anniken here to get this one close for a putt.
A lot skinnier of a line from this angle, and she makes it work. Oh.
Ooh. And there's that ground play that I said is, oh man,
no.
That's so, that's brutal.
I didn't realize how quickly that came up
It's
behind.
super quick. It's like right on the edge of the circle, maybe a couple inches outside of it. Gosh, right when I said you don't need to worry about it.
Kristin,
That's a kind of a big deal right now.
Yeah, Kristin coming in a little bit left, but it checks up nicely as well. She's going to have a putt for birdie. I feel like we can't count Kristin out yet.
No, we definitely, you can never count her out.
No.
And Hokom does stay in.
Okay, I definitely feel it too. I'm nervous.
Right?
There's no reason, but I am.
Yeah.
Look at that wind starting to pick up a little bit as well. Tailwind just takes it right out of the sky.
This is for a par save with that out of bounds stroke.
Anniken maintaining some composure with this new wind.
That looked like a nervous miss. It's going to be a bogey.
Wonder if she's forgotten how to take a bogey.
Probably. Has she even gotten one?
Yeah,
she got one in round 1. No, that's
What on earth?
such a brutal spit out.
Oh,
yeah, true
that's
Jomez here.
Yeah.
I don't say spit out lightly. That was in.
Oh, so center
In.
too. Oh my gosh. That is brutal.
I live for own reaction cam.
I like that Sarah was already gathering her stuff and looks up.
Oh,
and it's already on the ground.
no.
That's brutal.
Yeah, it really
Is that for
is.
bogey too?
Yeah.
No.
And she made it.
We should be able to vote that that's not
yeah,
allowed.
I think everyone would give that to her.
Yep.
We could do that thing like call in and vote now.
Yeah. Or just you get one per round of like, okay, guys, we got to vote.
Yeah.
Is this legit or did I get a 4?
Like you would in a practice round.
Yeah.
Own with the tap in birdie and 2-stroke swing takes the lead again.
Wow.
That was a very dramatic hole.
It sure was. And we haven't even gotten to the hardest of the 3 par 4s.
Hole 8 is a par 4. Arguably the hardest. It's definitely the hardest. There's an OB line to the left that you want to avoid. You really want to throw either a turnover or sidearm to get as far right as possible without hitting some casual water that's over there. Second shot, you're going to the left of that mandatory and trying to get yourself a putt. If you are not lined up perfectly to this gap, birdie is just out of the question. It's too sharp of an angle usually. If you are in the casual water on the right, which is just kind of a weird little ditch, there is an optional drop zone. Forehand's a great play here.
Owen definitely did not get over this as much as she wanted to, and she's going to be
Fine. She's going to be fine.
Yeah, she's laughing because she's happy that it checked up before the woods.
Yeah, it's short, but it's still lined up.
And it's just really, it's going to really lengthen that second shot, though.
Kristin with an orbit rive sidearm This, at least when I came through, was a left to right wind, really kind of pushing it that direction. Similar spot to own, maybe just a bit farther.
Oh, no.
Yeah, similar
Oh, okay.
shot to yesterday. Wow. Great distance from Anniken. She gets all the way to the Mando tree, but I think she's going to be...
Checks up just in the nick of time.
It's going to be awkward, right?
Yeah, she's going to be a little pinched, I think. Sarah really committing to the angle and to the stability of this disc.
It looks too churned. Oh, same thing.
They're both hyping each other up for what they're going to have to deal with next.
Yeah. Own? Outside? Outside flex. It's heading towards the trees.
Ooh.
That's going to be weird.
I didn't realize that from where she landed that you could still get up and down. I thought
Yeah.
it was a lot longer.
You can. It is hard, though.
Mm-hmm.
And forehand is a good play because there's OB on the left, so you're fading away from it. But see how scary it is?
That is such a tight line that Kristin just
yeah,
threw.
it is so tight.
I mean, she just had to hit like a 6x6 foot gap with that tree on the left side. That's just incredible.
You went, huh?
Because I knew I know where that tree is. I remember that tree. I've been in that tree.
Hokom with a really pretty kind of turnover shot. A little bit too much angle on it, but honestly, you can't do much better from there.
Anniken just a little further along, but being lefty, this is real awkward.
Yeah, really wide patent pending. Wow, she made that look pretty dang easy, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. That was lovely.
If you've ever attempted to throw that shot, you know it's so hard.
It's so hard to make it do what you want it to do, even remotely.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the angle of release is like 140 degrees. Could go anywhere.
Yep. Hips are fully closed and will not be opening. It's all arm.
Hokom gives it a bid there for a birdie, own from the rough.
Ooh.
Just lays up and leaves it a little short.
She's going to have a headwind putt for par. Kristin with a longer look for birdie.
Kind of a left to rightish wind, I believe.
Nice.
Knocks it down.
Gonna gain a stroke on everybody on the lead card. Oh, no, wait, no. Anniken's putting. I forgot. I already wrote her off with the Mando thing, but no.
That was a phenomenal birdie.
Yes, it was.
Especially with Own kind of missing her upshot. It's crazy. Both Own and Anniken have taken advantage anytime the door is just a crack open to take back the lead or tie it up. And Kristin now only 2 strokes back of both of them. One to go on the front. Tension feels so high.
Sure does. We've seen Kristin shoot super hot on the back nine the last couple of days, so having her only 2 strokes back is a little scary.
More than a little.
Let's wrap it up with hole 9 at 291 feet. This is a very birdieable hole, but a very challenging hole. Most of the time we see FPO players taking this right side gap with a straight mid-range or maybe a slightly stable fairway. But on this lead card, we've been seeing a lot more of the players working the left side. We're going to see Kristin try to miss short side of that big fluffy tree on the left side.
That's looking really good.
Wow.
Really good. Orbit rive in the bullseye. Putting the pressure on. Oh, yeah, let's see it again. This is such a difficult line. You have to get so close to this, what'd you call it, fluffy tree?
The fluffy tree.
Before fading, and she just did it perfectly.
Kristin's lines are so impressive today. She's making disc fade and turn right where they need to.
Kind of like Own.
Yep. Anniken doing the same thing?
Oh, yeah. Gorgeous.
Wow.
She, I believe, changed from yesterday. This was a Fusion Felon.
Yeah, she tried to go out and around yesterday.
This was a good adjustment. Oh, and let's see this one again.
Ooh, back to back? Oh, yeah.
Side to side, all around.
Yeah, we like this.
We do like this.
This is cool. Sweet. It's like an air show.
Own gonna go forehand as well. Is she going inside? Is she going through?
Ooh, that's a fortunate little break, but
Yeah, she'll have a
not
putt.
quite inside the circle.
Man, so crazy. All of the lead card taking the atypical route. Hokom gonna work the flex shot here.
No way. No way.
Wow.
It's somehow a different line. Oh,
Yes way.
yes.
Yes way.
Yes.
Spicy red. Triple follow flight. Shout out to our editor Mike for spending probably hours on making this magic happen for all of us.
We
What a
hope you guys
treat.
liked it as much as we did. We're like giggling. We're like my mouth's wide open, smiling, catching flies.
And that's, they all feel important, but with everybody stacked right in the bullseye, that's a rough miss for Own. Hokom 2 down on the front with that bogey. Anniken moves to 3 down.
Cool to see Anniken just park the hole after watching Kristin park it.
Yeah, like that's gotta be terrifying.
That's nerves of steel. And how does she have those already?
I don't
You're supposed
know.
to slowly build those up like all your other muscles.
She was born with them. And that wraps up the front 9. Several lead changes. Anniken leading the way by 1 over Own and 2 over Kristin. She's not far. Lucky Lorenzen shooting 6 down through 14 to move up to 4th.
Rebecca Cox 8
Oh,
down
yeah.
through 15.
Get it,
well
girl.
on the way up the leaderboard as well. And we got a triple follow flight in the front 9.
Yeah.
We're doing something right here.
Yeah, we are.
What do we do?
Oh,
to
they
deserve
are.
it?
We're just here.
That's true. We do have 9 more holes on Championship Sunday. We've had 5 leadership changes already today.
Sure. That's a probable statistic.
Yes, it is, honk. And we've got some more for you on the back. Come hang 9 more holes at Brock Park for the final round of the Texas State Disc Golf Championships. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb, and we're the 2 hot geese. Honk.
Honk.